Good evening, and welcome to another edition of The School Zone. I'm your host, Renugan Radioo. Tonight we begin our journey into the school zone with a look at an after-school chess club. Every parent wants their child to grow up to be an independent, self-motivated, critical thinker. But did you know all of those qualities can be learned through a board game? Chess is a game of skill and strategy, and every Thursday, dozens of Mark Twain elementary students meet after school to test their abilities.
Okay, you have the pawns, the bishops, the knights, and the castles, and the king and the queen. The king is the most important piece.
Well, the object of the game is to trap the king, so that the king can't move and you have him in checkmate.
And try to get their king because then the game is over. And you try not to get your pieces gone because they can get your pieces too.
Kindergartners through 5th graders crowd the tables in the Mark Twain gym to meet their match. Their knowledge of the game varies, but students say that that's part of the fun.
You get to play with other people that's a different age, and you get to learn other different strategies.
Strategies that students say sometimes help them in the classroom.
Math and science, sometimes.
The students' interest was a surprise to chess club organizer Jody Nielsen.
Thought when we started it that maybe we'd have 10 kids. Last year we had average of about 42, and now this year we have 50 plus. Yes. Very pleased, overwhelmed, but very pleased.
Why is the club so popular? It's simple, kids say.
It's just the thrill of the game, actually. I just like playing because my dad, he always creams me, so I just said this is a way to get better. I don't know, it's just a wonderful game I like.
I think it's a strategy game, so they like to be able to strategize, but they also like to just be with their friends, play. It's almost like a sports game in a way, so they learn sportsmanship. They learn how to win gracefully. They learn how to lose gracefully. We shake hands after every game. But it's a thinking game, and kids like to think.
You might associate the game with students who are considered bookworms. Not necessarily, kids say. Even athletes think the game is cool.
I like to play basketball, tennis, golf, volleyball,
Swimming, football, sometimes baseball.
Yeah, it's not just the geeks playing chess anymore.
Well, checkers, you can only move space. In this, you can move a number of spaces at a time. And also, the pieces are shaped differently.
Most players learn the game by trial and error, but some get more serious about it, studying up on the consequences of each move.
I just read books about chess, and I just learn from other people's moves, and my mom shows me too.
Jody Nielsen played the game as a middle schooler, but didn't touch a chessboard until her children urged her to play again.
As a parent, you don't need to, be the chess master. They just want to play and learn, and it just teaches so much, and it's also one-on-one time with your child.
The Nielsens play whenever their busy schedules allow.
It's definitely a game that you can also leave set up and leave, because everybody says, I don't have time to spend 1 to 2 hours playing chess. It's a game that you can just leave and come back to, and do 2 moves in a night or something like that, and just keep going with the whole thing too. So it's not something that you have to finish that night if you have a place where you can leave it.
Nielsen is so passionate about the game, she'd like to see it added to her children's school day.
If I could get this incorporated into the school curriculum somehow, I would do it, because I just think the benefits are amazing.
Chess is already part of the school day in nearly 30 countries, including Venezuela, Iceland, and Russia, where it's recognized as a regular subject in all public schools. Here in the United States, chess has been added to the curriculum in many schools on the East and West Coast.
They've done studies in New York where they've incorporated it into the school curriculum, and they involved more than 100 schools with 3,000 children involved in this study, and results came back that there were higher classroom grades in both English and math for children who are involved in chess. And they've also done studies in Houston, Texas, and Pennsylvania, which showed that chess leads to higher scores in a certain test that tested on critical thinking and creative thinking. So it just increases all of that. And I know I've done some research too where reading scores have increased 10%. So you think math is a strategic game, or chess is a strategic game where they just learn math kind of skills and things like that. But it's also concentration, forward thinking, where they have to learn all of that.
Nielsen tries to get other parents involved by encouraging them to help out with chess club at least once each semester. Adults are on hand to answer questions, settle disagreements, and monitor behavior.
It gives the parents an opportunity to see what we do and how things are going and what their child is doing.
She's even willing to help other schools get clubs started.
I would encourage anybody, if there's a school that does not have chess, to start one, because you don't need to have a huge knowledge of chess. Just the basics of the moves, and the kids kind of take it from there, and hopefully you can get other children or other parents of children to help you out who do know it a little bit better than you might. It's exciting, and it's exciting to see the kids learn and be excited about chess, because it's a great game.
Well, I don't know, it's just fun.
A fun game to play.
Each day at Jefferson Elementary School, students in Nancy Kruger's second grade start out the day with a class meeting. Let's watch and find out how this works.
Okay. My name is Nancy Krieger, and I'm a second grade teacher at Jefferson Elementary. And my partner and I, Robin Kaplan, and I were very interested in something called the responsive classroom. And the responsive classroom really is a social curriculum. We firmly believe that teaching social ideas is as important as teaching the academic parts of our day. One of the components of the responsive classroom is the morning meeting, and in there we do a greeting where all of the kids get to know each other's names. We do a sharing time where they get to know each other at a more personal level, so they can relate to each other better and understand each other's problems, difficulties. And then we do an activity which gets them excited for the day. A lot of times the activities are very academic based. And then we also do a morning message, which tells us about our day, the kinds of things that are going on. We talk about social issues that are going on in the country or in the world, and also what things are happening at Jefferson. This week we've been talking, it's Red Ribbon Week, and we've been talking about that you just need to say no to drugs. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go around, and I want you to tell me one thing that you can do instead of doing drugs. Okay?
I don't know. Instead of drugs, I can play my Game Boy.
Instead of drugs, I can do softball.
You could also see that there was a part of it that was very academic based, where we look at punctuation, kinds of words, and we can tie in the academics to the morning message also. Okay? Katie, read the first part.
Good morning, second grader.
Okay, next sentence. Dawson?
Today is Wednesday, October 26th, 2005.
Okay, Jacob?
We have gym at 10:35.
Katie?
Please leave your baking book in the classroom today.
Okay, now let's look at that one again, because remember, I've been leaving out the punctuation, but I'm trying to get you as readers to feel where does that sentence stop before you go on. So let's take a look at this again, Mary.
Be sure to look over our morning meeting rule.
Now you notice something here, so what does that tell you where your voice needs to stop? Right there, right? Okay. Olivia?
Have a great day.
Okay, sincerely, Mrs. K. Now, let's go back and put in our punctuation, because I think we found where it needs to go. Just by reading it, you're able to tell where that goes, but then you have to think in your head what kind of punctuation might fit in there. Fantasia, where do you see one? Okay. Now, does anyone have any questions about any of the numbers that are up here? You're wondering whether they should be here or not. Andrea. Okay, I just want you to point to it for now. Can you stand to the side over here so everybody can see? Okay, you're wondering about 98. Now, how are we going to figure out if that one is an even number?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. When you count the twos, it's like 2, 4, 6, 8, and then.
And you know that in the ones place there's an 8, so it has to be an even number?
And it can be in the 20s, 30s, like that.
We could look at any number and decide, couldn't we? And where do we look to decide that? Now I see this number 22. How do we know that 22 is an even number? Do you look at the tens place or do you look at the ones place? You look at the ones. If you look at the ones place and you know that that number you get to by counting by twos, you know that that's an even number. So does 98 work then?
Yep.
Because 8 is a what? Is an even number, okay? A responsive classroom has very many parts to it. There are other things like logical consequences, creating a sense of community in the classroom. How do we care for each other, which we feel helps to make our academic day even better.
My name is Devin, and I
Can you tell me about the morning meeting and what you like to do in there?
what I like doing is morning meeting is filling in the punctuation.
You like that? Can you tell me what the purpose of the plate game was?
Somebody would go in the hall, and then the person who's in charge would pick somebody to be Machu Picchu, and then the person would have to go in the middle of the circle and find out who Machu Picchu was. And when they found Machu Picchu, we would have to find a new spot to sit.
Okay. That's good. Thank you.
Remember your first job? How proud you were when you cashed that first paycheck? There's nothing like that sense of satisfaction, but getting a job and keeping it can be more difficult for students with disabilities. That's where the Sioux Falls School District's Transitional Work Experience program comes in. It provides vocational experiences for students who are preparing to move from special education classes into adult life.
Our transitional work experiences are set up for students to learn basic work skills. So it's time management, how to interact with coworkers, how to work as a team, how to present themselves at work, how to dress appropriately, all the basic work skills.
All of those skills are being taught around these tables, tucked inside the school district's main warehouse. 5 students each work about 11 hours a week, peeling labels and putting them on boxes for meat packer John Morrell.
They get 4,500 boxes a week, and we get a shipment every Wednesday.
School district personnel supervise the site, and the students do the work. And the students are employees of the school district. So they get paid at the end of the month just like other school employees get paid. Not only do they gain work experience so that they can have a part-time job, in some cases I've seen a full-time job later on after leaving the program. Since the district is responsible at age 21, we have some years to develop those skills. Not work skills, but more importantly probably the social skills, because we know that a lot of people do not keep a job because of social skills. They can do the work, but they just can't get along with people and take orders from a supervisor.
Here, students also learn about deadlines.
Yeah, stay on track. Yeah, stay on track.
It teaches us how to stay on track and meet other people.
But productivity is not a problem.
Yesterday I did 397.
397 boxes?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Do you keep track every day?
Yeah, I keep track because Terry puts them on her computer.
Actually, our crew is producing so high, they sometimes get done in 4 days.
I usually get probably like 16, 17 bundles done a day.
What is in a bundle, do you know?
Like 25, sometimes less or more.
Okay, I'd say they go anywhere from 200 boxes a day to probably 800. 900, sometimes more. It depends. I think it's like all of us. We have good days and bad days. And some days they're producing high, and some days we're struggling a little bit.
It all depends on the day.
Many times their disability can play a role. We may have a student who is real specific with different kinds of things and likes this to be done perfect. This is the perfect kind of job. They want to get the label on the box just right.
I think it's good for me to get the labels on and make sure I put them on the right line and then do a good job.
What do you like about this work?
Well, it pays.
Students are paid a piece rate for their work. The more they get done, the bigger their paychecks.
It's pretty nice to start out with.
I use it on buying things that are important, like groceries or whatever that I need it for.
Buy my needs and maybe some wants sometimes.
It's a good feeling to get a paycheck.
The John Morrell Partnership highlights how the school and community can work together to provide meaningful job opportunities for disabled students.
They are really appreciative. They've been very helpful. The people that bring the boxes over here with the forklifts, they really tune into this too.
I think it's going well for me.
The students say they like relaxed work environments.
I get to talk to my friend.
Everybody has a good time. Basically just talk while we work, so things go a little faster every day.
And it's extremely important that these people that work with have a good self-concept, and they can talk about the same things we talk about, meet with friends and meet with new people.
The Transitional Work Experience program has grown over the years. Other students work at putting pulleys together and doing housekeeping at a local hotel.
When I got involved several years ago, they were at the stage then where they were probably putting paper clips on an envelope, someone else was taking them off, and we went for real work, and we connected with IPC, and that kind of got the program started. Like you said, real work that somebody needs to do. And these students know that. They know this is real work, and that it's important.
The labeling job wouldn't have been possible without the help of purchasing supervisor Chuck Binder and clerk Laquita Buckneberg. They found space for the project in the warehouse, a perfect location for the project because Morrell workers needed a dock to drop off the crates of boxes and other supplies.
We just made room. They need the same opportunity as other students do, and we just, Terry and Bill and myself just reviewed the space that's here and determined the most appropriate space to use.
We had worked with Chuck and Laquita with a couple other individuals that did some work over here over a couple years ago, and so we know that they were willing. They were the kind of people that had a feeling for people with disabilities. And I approached Chuck about it, said, why don't you think about it? And next time I talked to him, he said, hey, we'll do it. That's the kind of thing we like to hear.
We did have to provide some lighting, additional lighting, so the students could make sure they could put the labels on the boxes in the right, line them up correctly. And so that was one thing we did.
Binder says the students add a bright spot in the normally dingy warehouse.
It's a real joy. It's a pleasure to have them here in the warehouse, being productive, earning a wage and a skill. It's just great.
I really want to thank Chuck and Laquita for collaborating and providing this opportunity for our students.
It's everybody working together for the same purpose.
Helping these students develop the skills they need to one day be competitively employed. Each year, the United States Marine Corps celebrates its birthday on November 10th. A special cake-cutting ceremony was held at Lincoln High School, where the members of the junior ROTC performed this ceremony.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen and fellow Marine cadets. On behalf of the Marine JROTC cadets of Lincoln High JROTC, we welcome you to the cake-cutting ceremony celebrating the 230th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. The record of the Corps speaks for itself. It has a rich heritage distinguished by those who have carried its colors throughout history, a heritage maintained by those who wear the uniform today. Today, let us remember our past and look forward to the future with pride. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors and the playing of the national anthem. The Commandant and our many friends of the Corps have added their hearty praise and congratulations on this, our 230th birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the birthday cake. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Company, heading.
Each year, wherever duty takes us, Marines pause to celebrate our birthday by sharing a cake and usually a holiday meal. A sword is used to cut the cake to remind us that we are a band of warriors committed to carrying the sword so that our nation may live in peace. It is traditional that the first slice of the Corps birthday cake be presented to the oldest Marine present, followed by the youngest Marine present, symbolizing the experience and the youth which make our Corps great. The oldest Marine present today, former Marine Corporal Phil Behrens, was born on May 17, 1944. He enlisted in the Marine Corps on August 12, 1962, and served for 4 years. The youngest Marine cadet present is Cadet Private Andrea M. Vandekamp, who was born on August 31st, 1991, and joined the Marine Corps JROTC program on August 29th, 2005.
I'm Major Rich Schaefer. I'm the Senior Marine Instructor for Lincoln High School's Junior ROTC program. Our cake cutting ceremony is something that we do every year on the anniversary of the birthday of the Marine Corps. The Marine traces its beginning to an act of the Continental Congress back on the 10th of November in 1775, when the Continental Congress issued a proclamation that said we need 2 battalions of Marines. Since that time, every year on the 10th of November, we get together and we share some birthday cake. We recognize the oldest and youngest Marine present, and in this way we continue to honor those Marines who went before us and remember our roots. Junior ROTC is an elective course. It's offered both at Washington High School and here at Lincoln High School. Lincoln High School's Junior ROTC program is affiliated with the Marine Corps. The program is not a recruiting tool. Our job is not to try and get kids to join the Marine Corps. Rather, it's to teach leadership, and it uses the model of the Marine Corps as the method of teaching the leadership skills that these young people can use in life. What we tell our students is whether they go to work, whether they go to college, or whether they choose to go into the military, what they learn here in Junior ROTC will provide them with the tools to be successful in any of those endeavors.
Hi, I'm Cadet Captain Philip Alvey. I'm the commanding officer in JROTC. This program is based for leadership in schools to teach you for real life. And so you gain experience. You don't have to go into the military after this. It's a good program. We learn about leadership, how to lead people. We learn the history of the Marine Corps since we are MCR, JROTC. We do uniforms. We do a PT, which is physical training, which we go out and exercise, so we keep in shape. We also do map readings and stuff like that, so we learned how to read maps and stuff like that.
That's all for this journey into the school zone. Join us the 4th week of the month for a new journey into the school zone. Good night.